Hey everybody, welcome back to the Planes, Trains, and Comic Books channel. My name is Matt, and today we're going to review Spawn number 318. And before we get into that, if you guys wouldn't mind sharing, subscribing, all that stuff, but let's get straight into it. All right, so we got the cover here. The reason why I picked 318 is because this is literally the comic before Spawn Universe comes out. Spawn Universe is supposed to be this big reinvigoration of the Spawn line. I've never personally read Spawn, even in the 90s or anything. I just know of it because, of course, it was all the rage in the 90s. This is my first issue of Spawn, and I wanted to read this to get prepared for the Spawn Universe title, which I have added to my poll list. So that comes out this week. I will be reviewing that one on Thursday because that's going to be the new hotness. We'll see if that one is worth all the hubbub. Let's get straight into this book. We start off, apparently, according to this previously on, there was a cult of Omega. Omega has been defeated and dragged down into his own prison by the plague. And so I guess medieval Spawn, who is an adversary of Spawn, and Spawn actually escaped together. But they're in a truce, but we don't know how long it's gonna last, or if they're gonna hate each other. So yeah, we see they're traveling back to Spawn's base, and when they get there, they argue because at first Spawn's like, "Why did you help me?" And medieval Spawn's like, "Oh, like no, I changed my mind about you. We're buddies now." Then we see there's this character named She Spawn that's back at his base trying to figure out what these earthquakes are going around, and something's not right to her. Something she's saying like maybe they're like using the earthquakes to cover their movements. We don't know who they are. She sees medieval Spawn. It runs up and is like, "You get the fuck away from him!" And I guess they've fought before. I'm assuming. Now that she's got him at gunpoint, Spawn's like, "Looks like you got everything under cover. I have to go find Mark." He turns out to be their human that is on this base, and apparently they're just looking for him. So, like, Spawn's like, "I need to find Mark. I need to talk to Mark. You stay here and you guard him." While she's guarding him, medieval Spawn just is able to talk her out of guarding him. She basically says, "You wait here. You seem cool." I don't know if he's using powers on her or something, but she's like, "Okay, I'll let you chill here." Then she goes, tries to find Mark with Spawn. He is apparently like knocked out in the basement area. Yeah, basically they're just like, "Mark, what happened?" He's like, "I have no idea." Then he comes upstairs and the armor of medieval Spawn is empty. So it's like, okay, did that being whatever was in Spawn medieval Spawn's armor, him having felt weird anyway, like changing sides, maybe it wasn't really medieval Spawn, maybe it was someone pretending to be him. I don't know. Some nefarious being, we don't know. And he says like he tells them, "Don't trust anybody." Like this thing can like turn into anybody, and he gives her She Spawn like a speech about how she needs to toughen up because she might have to shoot like a 5-year-old in the face, because this thing can mimic a 5-year-old or whatever. So apparently, it's someone who can mimic medieval Spawn. So he's like, "Okay, we need to be extra careful." Then Spawn, I guess, in Berlin goes to this vampire nest, and he goes here to just check out, to scope out what he says are like enemy strongholds. So I guess he's going to look around in general at these enemy strongholds. This is like a vampire base of like a big adversary he had. Then he says like, "Oh, their master called was named Blood, and he was looking for power, and maybe he's one of these guys that's like gonna start this war." And basically, he sets it up that someone's trying to activate this thing called a dead zone, and that will open the gates of hell to allow someone to go in and sit on the throne of hell and become the new king of hell. And that is where it says we find out more in Spawn Universe. So, my thoughts as someone who's never read Spawn, I could follow it fine. It was like there was a lot of stuff going on, a lot of people I didn't know or whatever, but I pretty much understood, Spawn and Medieval Spawn didn't like each other. Uh, Someone is in the base doing something because Mark got knocked out. Someone has fucked with their base a little bit. it could be anybody because this thing like shapeshifts. So they're trying to open up hell, a doorway to hell, so they go sit on the throne of hell and become the new king of hell. It was cool. Uh, this is like a bunch of setup kind of. So it was the end of a battle. There was nothing really happened in this one other than just kind of discovering, little things about what's going to happen in Spawn Universe. So wasn't the most exciting issue, but this was like a good lead in, I guess, to figure out where everybody is right before Spawn Universe. So, like I said, Spawn Universe comes out this week. That's going to be what I'm reading on Thursday, just to try to see if it's fucking cool. I don't know. We'll figure it out. That being said, I'm going to give this one 3 out of 5. It was perfectly readable. I had fun reading it, but it wasn't like, nothing really, really big happens or anything in this. So nothing to write home about in this one. We'll see if Spawn Universe is a little bit more exciting, a little bit more like, what the fuck? And yeah, on that note, please, if you guys wouldn't mind, like, sharing, subscribing. It really helps me out. Comment down below. Let me know. Did you like this issue? What did you think of it? Are you excited for Spawn Universe? Have you ever read Spawn like me? This is my first issue, so interesting, but maybe this isn't the best way to read it, but fuck it. You got to jump in somewhere, right? And with that, we'll see you on the next one.